the league matchup recap with your host, three-time champion, your commish, Los Borrachos.
What up, what up, what up? Oh, shit. Week 2 in the books. Pretty good week, I must say. A little more scoring. A lot more injuries, that's for sure. Fuck. So yeah, today I'll go over the high score, low score, blood of the week. The matchups, the recap the matchups. Also do waiver wire Tuesday. Make sure you put in your claims. A lot of injuries. Hopefully you picked up your backups just in case, so that way you don't have to try and waiver wire it. But here we are. So yeah, we just get into it with the highest score.
New high score! What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What does that mean? Did I break it?
All right, and our highest scorer of the week is the Rook with 181 points. Could have been a bit bigger, but you live and you learn. So yeah, he had Nico Collins put up 29 points, DK Metcalf put up 30, Jonathan Taylor put up 17, Saquon 17, Chris Godwin with 26, J.K. Dobbins with 22. The Chargers defense, obviously against Carolina, put up 11. He had Charbonnet on the bench with 17. Jamal Williams, no, what's this guy's name? Jameson Williams, my bad. With 14 points on the bench. Singletary with 14 on the bench. Sat Aaron Jones. Nice. Picked up off the wire and started J.K. Dobbins. Kyle Pitts with 5. Came back to earth, huh? But hey, man, 5 points from a tight end. Fuck it, we'll take it. Mahomes, 20 points. Over projected 29. But good shit, man. 181. Moves you up to second place. This should have been was it 2 in a row, but you lost by a point something. That's a bitch. But pretty solid. Like Metcalf, I thought he was gonna have trouble with that corner from the Patriots. It wasn't too bad, but I think it was like on a broken play where he got most of his points. But those targets, he has a big target share. Looks like they're moving to him and Smith and Jason Smith, Smith and Jigba. Nico Collins looked fucking legit. Finally got to see some of his game. I don't have anyone from the Texans, so I don't really watch the Texan games, but he looked fucking solid. Taylor, I mean, he's not getting those touchdowns, especially with Richardson struggling a bit. Hopefully the defense hasn't figured him out where it's going to be a problem for Taylor. Saquon Barkley, I mean, he was close to getting a touchdown had he just caught the ball. What they'd say, you could take the player out of the Giants, but you can't take the Giant out of the player. Damn, that sucked. Yeah, last minute. It was good for me because if he had caught it, I think it would have boned me as far as losing. But it is what it is. Godwin, fucking blowing up this season. Last year he only had 2 touchdowns the whole season. I guess this year he has already doubled that. But yeah, he's doing fucking good with Baker Mayfield. J.K. Dobbins, I mean, against it's Carolina. I mean, we'll see next week who he plays if it continues. Because I think he's averaging 9 yards per rush. So, yeah. But not good shit, Rook. Keep it going. Man, maybe this is your year, but who knows, man? You haven't been bit by the injury bug like the rest of us, but we'll see. Hopefully not. Knock on wood. All right. Now let's hit up the bad news. All right. And on to the bad news. Our lowest scorer of the week is NightHawk with the points of 92.50. He had Jamar Chase just put up 7 points. Tank Dell put up 2. Travis Kelce with the 1 point. Xavier Worthy with 4. Keon Coleman with 0. And New Orleans with 8. Well, actually, they beat their projection of 6. But damn, man, number 1 pick, putting up 7. At this point, you want to just put him on the bench, but he's gonna have a run of course, because he plays me next week. So he's gonna have a run of easy matchups, so it shouldn't be so hard for him. They play Washington next week, so yeah, and pretty much no one on his bench would have done any better. He's got Eckler with 11 or projected 8. Um, I mean, I think he'd be a good flex play since they're always playing from behind. Um, Xavier Worthy, a boomer bust. Um, you always seem to find your Gabe Davis. Uh, but who knows? Maybe now that with Pacheco being out, maybe they do a little more of that, where and what is they called, end arounds or whatever, or he runs in from the back and shit like that. And same thing for Kelsey. Maybe he gets more targets. Like I said, maybe Mahomes will throw a little bit more with Pacheco being out. Um, Keon Coleman. I mean, I'm glad I didn't draft him that high. Now that I see it, but hey, man, he might come around. We'll see. They just haven't been against Miami. They didn't have to throw that much, so it's no point. And then week 1, same shit, but it looks like Khalil Shakir might be the guy there. Derrick Henry, like they finally fucking rushed him a little bit more, but dude, they gotta feed that man the rock. Tank Dell, same thing, man. You're gonna have days like this and days where he's gonna fucking run for like a 80-yard touchdown or something. And I'm sure it'll happen next week against me. So, uh, like I said, with Chase and Burrow, they're gonna they play the Commanders next week, so they should get it right. And of course, it's when you play me and shit. But yeah, I mean, Aiden Mitchell's not doing what. Uh, I thought Bucky Irving, like, oh shit, White was injured, but they're saying he should be fine. He's gonna play next week, so that's still gonna be a thorn in his side. But I mean, they played against Detroit. Detroit has a solid run defense. They just were having more success throwing the ball, so I mean, maybe better days for him. Mitchell, I mean, they thought he would have taken Alec Pierce's spot, but Alec Pierce looks like he's fucking solid this year, so I don't know, man. Might have to wait a little longer on that one. Plus, Anthony Richardson's not really completing much of his passes. I think he's like at 40% percentage wise of completions. Cooks, I would have thought he would have blown up against New Orleans, fucking revenge game, but it was more of Tolbert or whatever the guy's name is. I guess he got more of the targets, and the tight end, the one that replaced Jake Ferguson. Cortland Sutton, man, that offense is just garbage at this point. I don't know what to tell you about that one. Greg Dortch, I mean, yeah, he had a good week 1, but that's because the way the Bills played him. I mean, maybe other teams see it and try to play him that way, but that was good for my Marvin Harrison stock. But yeah, man, maybe next week. Like I said, fucking, you play against me, and most of your players have some good matchups next week. So, uh, good luck, man. You ended up being 9th now. Got to get those points up.
Blowout of the Week. Brought to you by Yo Mama.
All right. And our blowout of the week is the Rook versus the Warhammers by 78 points. 78 points. Warhammers this close to being lowest scorer. Lucky NightHawk only put up 90 points. Keeps him in 5th place though. He's 1-1. Jaden losing. Did you lose your quarterback? Yeah, Jordan Love. Jaden Daniels only 15 points. Mike Evans only 7. Zach Moss 5. Likely 4. George Pickens 4. Telling you, man, that Patrick Surtain is no joke. Terry McLaurin with 8. Goddard put up 6. Or no, just 2 points. What got you? Khalil Shakir on your bench. I wouldn't have started over. Well, maybe Pickens and McLaurin. Yeah, if McLaurin can't get it done against the I was gonna say the Redskins, the Commanders. I don't know, man. Braylon Allen, nice. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he doesn't start dipping too much into Brees Hall's points, but yeah. I mean, last week pretty solid, fucking points wise, but yeah. I mean, Mike Evans just had an off day, so it was mostly Godwin got the points. Jaden Daniels. I don't think Christian Kirk's gonna do anything this year. That's already 2 weeks of him being down. Instead of Madison, you should have picked up Mayfield or Carr. I think they had a better game than Daniels did. But I mean, it doesn't help that the guy you play against is highest scorer of the week. So I think no matter what, you were doomed. But then again, I mean, you want to score points that way you're not lower. Because right now we're all from 2nd place to about 7th, no, 8th, 9th. We're all 1-1. So and points come into effect on that. So just you want to try and put out your play the matchups and shit like that. But good shit, Rook. Sucks for you, Marco. Blow of the week. But hey, fucking good luck next week. Maybe you have better luck. All right. And our matchup results of week 2. Here we go. Los Borrachos beating the Fuegos 118 to 109. Los Tanks losing to the Arab Sensations 123 to 127. Mike and the boys beating the NightHawk 118 to 92. OG Men losing to the Rebel Scum 108 to 158. The Rook beating the Warhammers 181 to 103. Uh, some guys not hitting projections, some guys hitting over projection. Some coming close. But yeah, we'll just take a look at each matchup, see what's up. All right, in the first matchup, we have Los Borrachos versus the Fuegos. Los Borrachos beat the Fuegos 118 to 109, 9 points. It was a crazy one. The Fuegos ended up losing 2 guys pretty much before the game with AJ Brown and then Mostert before the week started. Had to start Taysom Hill as a flex. Had to start Wilson as an RB too. Because of it. Ayuk still dusting off that rust from not being in training camp. I mean, now that Debo's down, maybe he'll get more targets. Play against the Rams this week coming up. They just got blown up by Marvin Harrison, which comes to Los Borrachos. Josh Allen only putting up 13 and Kincaid only 7. And on the Thursday, thought it was over. Then only had Thomas and McConkey put up about 15 points in between both of them. Jordan Mason coming in clutch with the 19. Second half games, I was like, okay. Harrison putting up pretty much a touchdown first play. I was like, Cooper Kupp, here we go. Gets injured. Only gives me 7 points. Goddamn Warhammers jinxed me. But yeah, so it looks like he might be out for a bit. So gonna have to make some moves on that. Probably would have been a different outcome had the Fuegos had AJ Brown. That would have gave him a solid points. Would have probably covered Jeff Wilson's 3.2. McBride fucking falling on that touchdown. That was some bullshit. I thought it was it almost cut it a little too close for my liking. Waddle, we'll see how he does without Tua. I mean, there's Tua saying that he might keep playing, but who knows? They might hold him out at least for another 2 weeks. Had Dowdle on the bench with 9. They said he came out as a starter this time. Rico Dowdle did. Not much Elliott. Might be a good replacement for Wilson and Mostert for now. Unless you got to work that waiver wire. Stay tuned for my running back waiver wire. Same thing. Left Hubbard on the bench with 11 because started him over McConkey. Probably would have got me a little more points just to move up to at least 5th place. I'm only down by a few points. But yeah, man. Hopefully week 3 be better for us. Puts me at 1-1. And Fuegos only 0-2, 10th place. It's all right. Still started the season. We still got a lot of season to go. But we'll get into the next matchup. All right, in our next matchup, we have Los Tanks versus the Arab Sensations. The Arab Sensations beating Los Tanks 127 to 123. It was a close one. Came down to Monday night. Drake London, last minute touchdown. That's what won him the game. That was crazy. I didn't think he was going to get a chance to go down the field like that. But, I mean, it is what it is. Los Tanks suffering injuries with Tua getting injured in that game. It looked like he was probably gonna try to make a comeback, but yeah, ended up with 11 points. Tyreek Hill suffered because of it, only putting up 6 points. Debo Samuel doing his part though, putting up 20, but also got injured. I think he's gonna miss a couple of games. But fucking Kamara putting up 46 points against the Cowboys. That must have been tough for you to see your Cowboys get their ass kicked like that. Parkinson's, my bad. I mean, I wasn't gonna predict them getting blown out by Arizona. They were fucking favored, especially with them putting up points against Detroit the game before. Fuck. Cooper, that's the second straight game that he puts up low points. I mean, we'll see how he does, but I don't know if you could trust him. But then Schultz only put up 4, so I don't feel too bad. It's only 2 points that you missed out on. It wouldn't have helped you win. It would have got you closer. All right. Alec Pierce on your bench with 16. Dak Prescott with 19. I mean, Dak's matchups get a little lighter, so that should be good for you to start him over Tua until Tua recovers. Apparently, he's going to play. I don't know. Pierce, I mean, he's getting mostly all the targets from what's his name, Richardson. Doesn't look like he's gonna fall off. The Arab sensations so far, pretty much no injury news. Well, yeah, Tank Bigsby, but you weren't starting him. Josh Downs, I think, should be coming back next week, but you weren't starting him either. But yeah, Drake London coming to life, finally putting up some good points with 17. ETN 14, Brian Robinson with 16, and then Malik Neighbors with 30 points. Fucking finally decided to feed the guy. But again, he's not going to play Washington every week, so enjoy that 30 points. Stroud with 18. Fucking quarterback struggling a bit this week. Garrett Wilson, 10 points. I mean, they're barely getting it together again. But he was shadowed by Snead, pretty good corner. So, and I mean, it doesn't get any better next week against Gonzalez, but he should do. I'm sure Rogers will get him the ball. Laporta struggling, 3 points. Yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe with Amon Ra getting a little banged up, maybe Laporta get more targets. But dude, if I think Jared Goff threw like 55 times, but then he only targeted Laporta like twice or what? Robinson, I mean, he had some good catches. We'll see how he goes now that Cup and Puka are out. They're supposed to get a lineman back, so hopefully that helps them out. But they play the Niners next week, so I'm not sure how that'll work out. Dunze, I thought he'd do better with Keenan Allen out, only 5 points. Javonte Williams, they gave him pretty much the whole rock, so he got 11 points. Maybe he's fine to go back into your lineup. Maybe until wait to see how it looks with Demarcus Robinson. But yeah, well, like I say, we'll go over that tomorrow over the matchups to see who you play. But yeah, man, good luck to both of you the rest of the way. All right, in the next matchup, we have Mike and the boys beating the NightHawk 118 to 92. Winner, loser. Mike and the boys playing lowest score of the week. Got that win, though. Zay Flowers putting up 22 points. Bowers putting up 18. Fuck, man, who would have known? Cleveland putting up 11. Jared Goff struggling a bit. CeeDee Lamb putting up 19. He was projected 20. So, I mean, he's there. Jacobs put in 15. White, I think he got injured, but like I said, I heard he should be fine for next week. Stephon Diggs with 7. Jerome Ford with 7. Levante Adams against the Ravens, I wouldn't have started him. 28. Kittle with 20. Montgomery with 17. Mooney with 17. I had some players on the bench. Maybe Diggs and Ford might not be so solid to be in your flex just because of the inconsistency. But got you the win. Nighthawk, like I said, Burrow not putting up the points. Jamar Chase with only 7. Tank Dell only 2. Travis Kelce 1. Worthy with 4. Keon Coleman with 0. I mean, he had James Cook put up 28 points. Derrick Henry put up 16. Pretty much only 2 guys went over their projected. No, 3 with New Orleans defense. Just Eckler on his bench with 11. I mean, that might be a flex for you instead of Coleman, just because Washington's always going to be from behind trying to catch up, and he's a pass catcher, so. But yeah, man, just Mike and the boys. I mean, there's plenty of quarterbacks out there. Like I said, if you stick around for my waiver wire, you'll be able to pick someone up just because Jared Goff struggles. But yeah, I mean, not much really to talk about. I already went over lowest score over there. And yeah, man, with Mike and the boys, simple tweak here and there. You don't need too much info there. But yeah, so we'll go into the next one. All right, in our next matchup, an almost blowout of the week. OG Men versus Rebel Scum. Rebel Scum beating OG Men 158 to 108, 50 points. Let's see. Rebel Scum had Justin Jefferson with 25, Amon Ra with 24, Devon Achane 29, Ramondre Stevenson 17, Connor with 21. Nice. Philly with 1, Najee with 8, Firemouth. Oh, he beat his projected 7. Lamar Jackson just 21. Let's see who he had on the bench. Yeah, if he had started Pollard against the Jets or Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, looks like he's getting those targets now, man. And dude, Rashid Shaheed with 20 points on the bench. It'll be hard to kind of sit some of these guys, but I mean, with Jefferson and St. Brown dealing with some injuries, you may be able to start Smith and Jigba and Rashid Shaheed. He's always good for fucking those long bombs. Maybe Pollard over Harris, Najee Harris for now, just to see how that offense gets better. For the OG men, 16 points from Richardson. Pittman, 5. Mixon with 8. He got injured. Mark Andrews with 9. Deontay Johnson with 4. And the Indy defense with 3. Your whole bench is injured, man. They're all out. Keenan Allen out. Kenneth Walker out. McCaffrey IR. Fuck. Ferguson didn't play. Hollywood Brown is not even playing this year. Nick Chubb might not play this year. Damn, dude. It's time to let some of these guys go, man. I mean, Kenneth Walker might come back this week coming up. Keenan Allen's dealing with some some chitis or some bullshit that could linger, especially for wide receiver. Ferguson, I think they said he would play. He would have played had it been like a Monday night game, but yeah. Jets defense. Why did he carry 2 defenses? But hey, man, it's all right. But yeah, Richardson not looking that solid. I don't know. He might be a matchup play from now on. Pittman, he's not getting the targets. Like I said, it was Alex Pierce getting most of those targets. Um, Devontae Smith, I mean, benefited from AJ Brown being out, so 20. Pacheco, who's going to be out for at least 6 to 8 weeks. So that's kind of that whole dealing with a lot of injuries. Mixon, they said they're going to look into it. I think they're still doing x-rays. But I think they said he should be fine, but just with a limited workload, I think, coming up week. Calvin Ridley with 24. Deontay Johnson, I mean, he might do well now that Andy Dalton is a quarterback. More competent offense. But yeah, man, I don't know. Their whole fucking squad is injured. But good shit, Rebel Scum. Fucking 3rd place, staying up there, putting up those points. Like I said, got a little bit of injury, so we'll see what's up. Stay tuned for Waiver Wire. And our last matchup, blowout of the week, the Rook versus the Warhammers. The Rook beating the Warhammers 181 to 103. Kind of went a little bit over it, but let's get more into it. Mahomes not putting up points for the Rook with 20 points. Nico Collins, 29, beasting it. DK Metcalf, 30. Jonathan Taylor, 17. Saquon, 17. Chris Godwin, 26. J.K. Dobbins, 22. LA, 11. Warhammers, Jaden Daniels with 15. Mike Evans, 7. Zach Moss, 5. Likely, 4. McLaurin, 8. Pickens, 4. Pittsburgh Steelers did pretty, or projected 13. Brees Hall with 24. Rashee Rice with 18. That is all. Yeah, it just had like about 3 guys go over their projected versus the Rook. Only 2 guys not hitting projection, which was Kyle Pitts with 5 and thought I saw someone else. Oh, and Mahomes. Mahomes and Pitts didn't do their projected. Everybody else fucking blew up, almost double their projections. I mean, if it wasn't for point something in week 1, I think he'd be first place right now, just points alone. Forgot to mention Mike and the boys 2-0. My bad. That's on me. I'll get more into it tomorrow when we talk about standings. But yeah, the Rook, good shit, man. Fucking solid team. Like I said, haven't dealt with injuries like the rest of us. So, I mean, I knocked on wood. Hopefully, nada. Warhammers. I mean, what I put waiver claims if You're just gonna ignore him. Jane Daniels. I mean, if he couldn't get it done against the Giants, I don't know how he's gonna do against the next couple of tough defenses. They play the Bengals next week. Mike Evans just had a down game. I mean, he's usually pretty solid. Moss against KC. I mean, they were struggling most of that game, but I thought he was, with the amount of attempts he's getting, like I think he'd be better than just 5 points. Likely came back to earth against even against the Raiders. I thought he would have done better, but they try to get Mark Andrews a little bit more involved. So maybe Mark Andrews just coming back, so likely might take a dip, but I mean I think he should still be okay. Um, Same thing with McLaurin. I mean, if he couldn't get it done with against the Giants, shitty defense, I don't know, man. And Pickens, obviously, I said I'd let you know about Patrick Surtain. Didn't listen. Started him anyways. Uh, Maybe Shakir should be a good option for you. They play Jacksonville next week, so maybe a little bit more of a shootout, but we'll see. Goddard would have benefited a little bit more with. He would have only got you 2 more points, but I thought he would have benefited more from AJ Brown being out. Christian Kirk, I doubt he does shit this year. It's already been 2 weeks and nothing. Even with Evan Ingram out, I thought he would have taken advantage of those targets down the middle. Braylon Allen got some more run. I mean, he got 2 touchdowns, so you take that away, you got 33 rushing yards. Madison was 6. I mean, Pierce came out this morning, said like they got to feed the rock to Zamir White. It has to do with the offensive line. It's not his fault. They're gonna try and lean on him a little more. But I mean, the way injuries have been happening this year, I mean, it's not bad having a backup there, I guess. But with Love still out, and I don't know, man. I'd I'd pick up one of these hot quarterbacks that are coming out over Jaden Daniels. Um, like I had suggested, maybe some Baker Mayfield, partner up with Mike Evans, get double the points there. Um, but like I said, stay tuned for my waiver wire. uh, but yeah, man, good luck next week.
This week's waiver wire pickups brought to you by Tus Nalgas.
All right, and it's that time again. Fucking waiver wire Tuesday. Make sure you put your waiver claims in, unless you think no one's gonna pick them up or no one put a waiver wire on them. Make sure you. I mean, at midnight you can do it. So I'm gonna start off with the running backs because there's not too many of them, and we sometimes need more. We need them more than we need some other position. Starting off with the KC guys, Samaje Perine and Carson Steele. I mean, Perine's a little veteran guy, bit of a pass catcher. Carson Steele, I think he's more in between the tackles type of guy. I mean, end of the game, they had him kind of running the ball. I know he fumbled, but it looked like they trusted him still to like run out the clock at the end there. Another one is moving on to New England. Antonio Gibson. He had a little bit more run this time. Get a little pass catching. I mean, they project to be down most of their games, so why not? Maybe as a flex option, or in case something happens to Ramondre Stevenson, he should be the guy. Especially with all these injuries this year. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a backup. Deontay Foreman looked like him and Jerome Ford started to split a little bit more of that backfield. He looked a little bit better, but I mean, you never know. I mean, I think they still trust Jerome Ford, but again, injuries might not have the backup in case. Cam Akers, backup for Joe Mixon. Like I said, I think Joe Mixon should be fine, but they said something about reducing his touches a bit just to keep him healthy and not mess with it too much for him getting injured again. Uh, Also, someone I forgot to add on here, but Kareem Hunt looks like they're bringing him in for a visit with KC. I mean, he was all right with the Cleveland Browns, but I mean, that's just I guess this is just a player they want to have that's familiar with the offense and stuff like that. I mean, why not? Do I think he's gonna get some touches? Maybe. It's hard to really predict that shit, but yeah, man, it's up to you who you kind of want to roll with it as far as the KC running backs. But I mean, doesn't hurt to have someone on an offense like that. Um, but yeah, we'll get into wide receiver. All right, and now we move on to wide receiver. Again, no particular order, just kind of had him on there. Quentin Johnson looks like he's getting a little more. He's able to catch now. Had 2 touchdowns this past game. Again, it was against Carolina, but we'll see how he does the next game. I don't know if you want to hold him. They play the Steelers at the Steelers, so a little more tougher matchup. He might get Joey Porter, shadow him. So it might be a little more difficult of a matchup for him, but I mean, if he did what he did this past week, should be fine. Andre Yoshivas from the Cincinnati. Again, I'm not too sure what's up with T. Higgins. Is he playing? Is he not? But he put up a good stat line against KC. If Higgins plays, I doubt he gets the same target that he did. But again, just monitor that shit. Problem is, it's on Monday night, so I don't know. Jalen Naylor with Justin Jefferson getting injured. I think he got the most targets out of all of them. I heard they really like that guy, especially right now that I'm blanking on homeboy's name. The other wide receiver, Jordan Addison. He's still dealing with injury now. Justin Jefferson is dealing with injury. Maybe Jalen Naylor will be next man up. I had this guy last week, blew up this week. Put him in there again because he's still on the waiver wire. Jerry Jeudy from Cleveland. I know Cooper is struggling, but it looks like Jerry Judy's out there putting up fucking points, running routes and shit. 2 Rams guys that I saw still on the waiver wire: Jordan Whittington and Tyler Johnson. I mean, why not? But again, it'd be a tough matchup the next few games. I mean, they are getting one of their linemen back, should help a little bit, but that offensive line it's not good. But yeah, I know we're all dealing with injuries and shit, so I know there's another guy from Minnesota, but I can't remember his name. Juwan Johnson, I think his name is. I'm not sure. The guy from San Fran, especially with Debo out, maybe. But like I said, they play the Rams, and I don't think they're gonna need to throw like that. But I mean, why not? Because I think Debo should be out for a bit. I'll remember his name and then I'll write it down and put it on here. But yeah, we'll move on to tight end. All right. And our next waiver wire. Just got the message from looks like Alex and Aziz are going at it there in the WhatsApp. But yeah, Hunter Henry on the waiver wire for tight end. He did pretty good against Seattle. We'll see how he does against the Jets. I know they struggle against tight ends. Um, he had a bunch of targets. I think he went for 109 yards, and then Jacoby Brissett only threw for like 140. So he had most of those points. Luke Schoonmaker, I put him on here, but I'm hearing that Jake Ferguson could be back. So up to you guys. Zach Ertz, I mean, did pretty well, but that was against the Giants. Maybe he's getting more rapport with Daniels, just in case. Brent Strange, um, Evan Ingram got injured, so monitor that. But he did pretty well against Cleveland. Maybe give him a little more targets going forward. I forgot to add Jordan Mason. I just realized that he's also on our waiver wire. I mean, it says he's gonna start, but I don't know. Um, he didn't really play in the preseason. Didn't get much work with Sam Darnold. Um, so who knows? I know the other guys did, so that's why I kind of lean more to those guys. But I mean, if Jordan Mason can go, why not? Um, could be a good ad. Uh, yeah, not many tight ends that I really was checking out in the that I would see that could blow up or some shit in our waiver wire. All right. And now to waiver wire QBs. Pretty much just three of them. Baker Mayfield, pretty solid last week. He even ran in a touchdown. So he's getting out there, man. He's getting more comfortable with the offense. I think he's doing well. He might have a great year. I think he's at the top of as far as scoring right now. I don't know, in case some of you guys want to team him up with your wide receiver ones instead of some rookie. Um Derek Carr been blowing it up, man. He's solid. He's been consistent. There's times where he'll put up those bombs against with Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave. Great weapons over there in New Orleans. So I know fucking New Orleans is hot right now, especially with that new offensive coordinator. Should do well maybe this year. I said it now. Watch next week. He puts up a dud. Geno Smith did pretty good, especially with Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba there. Um, Kenneth Walker still being kind of injured with that abdominal whatever injury he has. So it's a lot more on Geno's shoulders. They play Miami next week. Could be a shootout. Could be a shitty game like last one, especially if it's Skylar Thompson or whoever the quarterback is. Um, you never know, man. With Geno Smith, I was gonna put Sam Darnold in here, but I mean, why not? Sam Darnold doing pretty well. Uh, looks like he can execute that offense, and who knows, man. But again, missing Justin Jefferson might be a little difficult for him, but that run game's going and everything else is going, so why not? Go ahead and grab him. But yeah, we'll move on to defenses. All right, last but not least, defenses. Um, at the top, you got Las Vegas versus Carolina. I don't know how easy that matchup is going to be now, especially with Sam Darnold being on there, because he can actually execute an offense. Like I said, did pretty well last time when they had him there as a starter. So Tampa Bay versus Denver. Denver can't get their shit together. That rookie QB is not doing so good. So should be a good matchup. Uh, Tennessee versus Green Bay, especially with Malik Willis not being able to throw the damn ball. I doubt they're going to be able to just run the ball against Tennessee like that. Cincinnati versus Washington. I mean, Washington kind of struggled a bit. They didn't even score a touchdown against the Giants. Cincinnati's a more competent defense. I know they burned you guys week 1 against New England. Maybe again. Give it another chance. Or a sleeper one would be Green Bay versus Tennessee. You know, if I can flip-flop those. Especially with Will Levis just throwing interceptions and stuff like that and getting sacked. I'll put it on here. But yeah, man, up to you who you feel comfortable with, or maybe you just have a defense that you're gonna be like, fuck it, I'll just ride with this the rest of the way. No shame in whatchamacallit, in streaming defenses. I mean, why not? But yeah, just take a look, see what's up, see how you feel. Maybe you got another sleeper one that I haven't seen. Bears, maybe they're pretty solid defense. But yeah, just check it out. All right, and that was week 2. Fucking crazy week. So we're on to week number 3. Talk to you guys tomorrow about it. Make sure waiver wire. Make sure you put your waiver claims if you need it. I know some of us really fucking need it. Like I said, if you maybe drop some of those guys you don't fucking need that aren't putting up any fucking points, no point in keeping some of them, especially if you're in need for to replace those injured players. So yeah, good luck on waivers tonight. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace out, bitches.
Thank you for watching the Los Borrachos Happy Hour. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time,